Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever I find you. Okay, today we're talking about splenic inner authority and how to tap for splenic inner authority. So this video is going to be helpful for you if you are a splenic projector, a splenic manifestor, and to a lesser degree, but also relevant for sacral generators and sacral manifesting generators if you have your spleen defined. If we haven't met before, I'm Carolyn Southwell. I am a 2/4 emotional projector who has been playing with human design for 11 plus years at this point. And I have worked with so many different configurations of human design charts at this point. I get excited when I see a configuration I haven't seen before. So lots and lots of experience with splenic inner authority. So a question had come in on a video, and I'm going to actually post it here after the video goes live, and that will be helpful for you if you have splenic inner authority. So it was called Splenic Inner Authority. Watch this if you're confused about how to live true to your design. And this person, after saying a bunch of kind things and feeling very aligned with the idea that they're a splenic being, had requested, like, how do I use tapping as a splenic person? How do we use tapping for splenics? So what I'm going to do in this video, and I'm just looking at my notes here to make sure, there are three main things that I want to cover. So I want to talk about the three things that most often get in the way if you are in this group of people. So especially if you have splenic inner authority listed on your chart, but also to a lesser degree if you're one of those other people that I mentioned. And how tapping is going to help you to be able to live in better alignment with your human design and actually follow your splenic inner authority, because it's such a whispery, quiet, tiny inner authority. It's so easy to miss. And so we're going to talk about how tapping actually practically helps with that. And then if you're somebody who doesn't know how to tap or doesn't know how to use the tapping in order to work with this and actually work with your inner authority, then I'm going to make some suggestions of how to do that. So again, if you are a splenic projector, splenic manifestor, a sacral generator or sacral manifesting generator with your spleen defined, there are three main things that I see you guys trip over again and again and again. So one is when you say yes, but your gut said no. And the opposite can be true. So saying no when you want to say yes, that doesn't happen as often, but so often the people pleasing, the saying yes when your gut says no. So that's a really common thing that will show up and will get in the way of you actually being able to follow and honor your inner authority. So the second one is getting stuck in overthinking or overanalyzing. And if the head is really busy, if you're really stuck in overthinking, thinking the same thoughts on repeat and worrisome thoughts, it's really hard to hear your spleen. Basically impossible. The third thing is getting frustrated, annoyed, or resentful at the rest of the world moving so damn slow, because as a splenic being, you're designed to move quickly, very, very quickly. So the rest of us who don't have splenic authority can feel really slow to you, and that can make it actually difficult for you to move through the world at the speed that you would like. So if you're experiencing any or all of these three main challenges that this group of people struggle with, then my suggestion is to take the tapping, to use it. And the reason that the tapping is so helpful in this respect is that if any of those things are going on, that creates like a noise in the signal. Your spleen, if you've watched any of the other videos on the spleen, and actually there's at least a few, I'll make sure I pop another one up here afterwards. But if you search on my channel for just the word splenic, then you will probably find all of the videos that I have on the spleen and splenic inner authority. But if you have been playing with human design for any length of time, or you've been paying attention to your own body and its intuitive nudges, you'll know that the spleen is very quiet. It's like this tiny whisper, this tiny little nudge, these tiny little intuitive hits. It's so easy to miss. So if you're stuck in overthinking, if you're people pleasing, if you're afraid to say no to people, if you are really stuck in the emotional reaction of trying to interact with all these other people who do life differently than you, then that's just all a whole lot of noise that makes it really hard for you to not only hear or sense or know what your spleen is trying to tell you, but then also to act on it. So there's two parts here. There's like being able to actually like know what your spleen is telling you, and then there's also feeling safe to act on that. And as a splenic inner authority being, or if you're a generator or manifesting generator, sacral with the spleen defined, because it all of our definition, all of our centers play into how we're designed to do life. The inner authority is really important to know. But if you're one of these other people, the spleen is playing a big role for you as well. And if you can't honor that and you can't make really clear decisions that are correct for you, your life doesn't work anywhere near the way it was designed to. Our life is literally a reflection of the day-to-day decisions that we make again and again and again. The little ones, the big ones. So the quality of our life so depends on us making clear, correct decisions for us, which is why our inner authority is so powerful to not only understand from a human design perspective, but mentally understanding it, like knowing the knowledge is only one part of it. If you can't take that and apply it to your real life, then it's for nothing, really. It's interesting to like mentally collect all this information, but if we can't actually apply it to our life, the quality of our life doesn't improve. So if you already know how to do some tapping, this thing that I've talked about, I've got a whole tapping playlist. I can put it up here afterwards. Put my finger in the right direction, somewhere over near Kazakhstan or Mongolia. Let's do that. And you know how to do tapping really well. And you know how, it's one thing to know how to tap along with a script or a video. It's another thing to know how to use your tapping to apply it to something that you find. So I've made some suggestions here on what you can apply your tapping to. Now, if you don't know how to do that, that's okay. 10 years ago, I had no clue how to take my tapping that I had learned and like apply it to think patterns and apply it to triggers that I was finding. I had to learn. The good news is it's not very hard. And after 10 and a half years of tapping, I can make the whole process very, very simple, which is what we need. We need simple tools that are not complicated so that we can use it to improve the quality of our life. So in the video description, I have put a link for my email address, my email list for you to jump on. Now, this is the place at the moment, the only place where I am notifying people of the details for upcoming group classes. So I do a 90-minute class where I teach you the basics of the modality I've created called trauma-informed tapping. There's more about that in that tapping playlist that I mentioned earlier, which is a safe, effective way for you to learn how to do tapping. And the whole point is to empower you with this tapping so then you can take it and apply it in your own life so that you don't have to keep coming back to me or any other practitioner again and again and again for tapping, because you know how to do it yourself. Now, if you don't want to wait for the group class or you just prefer to learn in private, I've also put a link in the video description to the private session so that then I can teach you the same thing and fully tailor it to your design. And thank you to the person who asked the question, the Splenic projector, on one of those previous videos. If you have a general question about human design or the intersection of human design and tapping so that you can live a more alive, aligned life, using tapping to decondition your design, then pop it in a comment below any of the videos that you watch, below this one, if you know that there is a general question that I might be able to answer in a video. And if I haven't answered it already on this channel, then I'll be happy to add it to the list.